This is a really, really cool area. Um, there's a lot of game trails that come through here, and those game trails run off this other side and down, and that's where those trail cams are set. But there's just a lot of sign in here of everything. Game. Here, I'm gonna let you look at that. That's kind of weird too. Okay, I'm gonna film a little bit. You can hear different things moving around. I'm back in that corridor where most of this stuff's been happening. Again, it's just kind of you kind of get that feeling because it's just so thick. You don't even know where to begin. There's a lot of sign of elk and deer in here. Still, they haven't moved up yet because I'd walked. Well, we went on that hike last week where we went extremely high, and there was a little bit of sign, but not a whole lot. However, this cliffy area right here is an interesting place. You can see it's hard. It's really, really, really hard to find footprints in this kind of stuff. It's just really hard. But I know they're in here. I mean, this is pretty close to that area where I had that one that would not back off from me. It was making noise, and it was just being a little too aggressive for me. So I've got a camera on my pack. It's just one I've got tied on there. And when I get to where I'm going, I'll turn that on. My only problem is, like with my videos and stuff, when we go out, it's usually just raw. I mean, there's not a whole lot of editing. And so what we try to do is we try to make it as real as we can, you know, so that you guys can see this stuff, or you can pick up things that I don't see, which has happened quite a bit. I'll turn it back on when we find something. Okay. I was coming up this trail, and I've been walking up this hill a bit, and look at that. Look at that. I mean, I wonder if it's a snare of some kind. I mean, there's little piles of sticks right here. There's been palm boughs, you can tell they're old, have been put there for whatever reason. I have no idea. And then look how these have been intertwined. But I don't see, I wonder if that's solely to slow them down. It's on a game trail. That little trail goes right up into there. Wow, that's weird. That makes me wonder, you know, it makes me wonder. I mean, that's pretty hidden back in there, but that's what's weird. See, that for some reason that's trying to slow something down. I don't know what, but it is. Wow. Still kind of struggling with that. Huh. Okay. And walking up a little steeper up. Look at this. It's like they've been pushed to the side to allow this to become like a game trail. But I don't know if you can get the full scope of how this feels, but it's really thick, and they have to weave. The deer and elk would have to weave around to get through it. It looks like that's been made on purpose, but I could be wrong. I could be. I'm gonna keep going up. We're at about, I would say we're probably at about 7,800 feet, maybe pushing 8,000 feet in elevation. We were probably about 8,200 feet to 8,500 feet last time, where the aspens were. And some people didn't understand my jargon when I called them quakies. And when I grew up, that was the word you used for aspen trees, was quakies. So forgive me for that slang term. Anyway, when I find something, I'll let you know. I went up a little higher. I'm trying to move it slow so people can see, because there's some weird activity in this area. That's weird. That almost looks like a footprint right there. And what's that? What is that? Huh. It looks kind of like an arrow of some kind. Footprint. I wonder if there's anything else over in here. Huh. The only good thing is it's not raining today, but that was weird. Wonder what that was. Have to look at it again in slow motion or pictures. It's weird. Anyway, I'm gonna continue up till I get up. We're right above where, well, we're about 2 miles up from where I placed the trail cameras, so I'm gonna work my way around and down, and then I'm gonna pick those up and bring them back. I mean, look at these little dugouts and stuff. There's a place I'm gonna film on the way back that looks like somebody been digging roots, which I thought was pretty cool. You know, some of these areas are interesting. I'll film in a sec. Right here would be an excellent lookout. Look at that. Look how it's all open in here. Sometimes the camera doesn't give you the full gravity of it, or how neat it looks. But if you sit right here, I mean, look at this view. You know, I mean, and then all these, this rock, this shale, which doesn't show any footprints, but that looks like some there. I'm not sure. Anyway. just seems really strange. This gives you a pretty good idea. You can see behind me all this shale of how difficult it is to walk across this stuff, and the fact that they leave almost no prints. Although that looks like a good print. Let me turn it around. Okay, I'm gonna sit down here and talk for a second. I know on YouTube, a lot of people scream out hoax and fake and all that stuff, you know, and I don't have time for any of this. I'm only up here for my sanity, so that I can figure out what the hell I've witnessed. I have a cabin up here. I mean, the last thing I want to do is not know what's up here. I know, but I'm trying to at least get some, you know, either some pictures, or come to terms with it that it's okay, it's not going to be, you know, aggressive. But I laugh at the people that get on there and say, oh, this is a hoax, you're just out there to get money or whatever. Let me tell you how much money I made on this crap. Not a penny. Matter of fact, I'm losing money every time I come out here. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and give you a rant on poor me. Luckily, I have a business that does good, and I don't have to be there all the time. But still, you know, when you're not at work, regardless of how good your staff is, your business will suffer. But anyway, I'm up here, and I almost think that this is an area where they cross, because it's all shale, and they could easily use it to walk across, because you couldn't see their tracks. You might see where they slid a little bit, but you're not going to get good prints. There's no way. And this is up above where the trail cams and stuff are, quite a ways, but not up as high as we were last time. Up there, I just didn't see that they'd been in there yet. So I see a lot of elk sign here. I see that there's a lot of deer sign in here too. So I think they're in here right now. So I'll keep going, but anyway, I just, you know, I think this is a place where they do cross. So I'll keep the camera going and figure out, see if we can't find some structures, or see if we can't find something that, you know, that will help us in this quest. Every time it seems like I'm on this, man, it was a little steep. Just went down right there. Anytime I'm walking through these type of areas, you know, usually get some, like look, when I walk past this, look down behind me. That's just weird. Anyway, I don't know if you can even see it, but I don't want to turn the camera off and flip it around. Anyway, it seems like every time I come through these areas like this, I get a tail. Now, I have a sidearm, which for some reason gives me comfort. You know, I know it wouldn't make any difference, but I wish it would get close enough where you guys could see or hear whatever it is back there. Anyway, that's it for now. Okay, and here's some tracks that are kind of I mean, some of them look squatchy, like the Sasquatch track. Some of them like that. Looks like a mountain lion track. That looks like an elk track. Whatever they're doing, this little trail, this corridor right here, what I call it, is the perfect ambush place. I mean, it's got everything. I'm gonna send you guys down this hole with this badger. If badger comes out, starts eating that camera, I'm gonna run like hell. So if it does, you know why. Ooh, it's weird. I don't like being that close to a damn badger hole. It's probably here somewhere. That's fresh, and it's spring, and I'm sure they've got cubs here somewhere. Now these bushes, I don't know what those things are. Some kind of worm. I don't know what that is. They're weird. Probably some menace. But this is some kind of a, I don't know if this is a berry tree area or what these are, but I don't see these very often from here. Oh, what did we find here? Oh, hell, fire. There's a badger hole. This is not really where I want to be right now. I mean, if that little bastard comes out, I don't see any snapped bones. There's a leg bone over there. That one looks like it's been snapped though. Look at that. Look at that. That has been snapped off. Wow, this is kind of creepy. Oh man, I didn't think we'd run into badgers and bones that have been, you know, trying to find some of the other bones. Anyway, that is a badger hole under that. You can see the fresh dirt where I walked. It's been digging its way out. I don't know what's under there. If I get rushed by one of those little things, I'll be killing it. This is an area that's just really thick. I mean, this is, and a badger's small. I mean, imagine Sasquatch. Oof. He'll give you all you want. Even completely armed. Okay, now I came up on this area and look at that fresh snapped pinion log branch. I mean, look at that. I don't know what they're trying to build yet. It looks like a shelter kind of for something smaller though. Just, I don't know, maybe it's a territory thing. It's hard to say. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it looks like something sat down right there, okay? And then there's this stick that's leaned up against this tree that didn't come from that tree. And it almost looks like something was dragged right there. I don't know if you can see that. That's too big to be a footprint, but something heavy. You see that? In between those pine cones. Something heavy. right there. And right here. And that gives me the creep. That's weird. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna sneak out of this area.